All right. I call the meeting of the Emergency Services Facilities Building Committee to order, 6:30 PM, members present. A. Mark, Tulis, Tom Snyder, Mike McCoo. David Gakowski, Brenna Kelleher, sorry, Ron Gantick and Tyler Millets, will seat.
No.
Hmm?
You don't need to suit anybody.
Oh, well, Brett's not here.
Yeah, but you can only be seated. for
I guess,
6
all
feet.
right, all right, that's true. Okay. And that's it. I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda. The one that was published had the approval of minutes for July 10th. And it really should be that we're approving the minutes for July 24th.
And if you look at the first page of the minutes for July 24th, we've already approved the July 10th.
Right.
Minutes. So.
It was just a typographical error. Second. All right, motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? It's unanimous, thank you. Okay, approval of minutes for 24 July 2025.
Perhaps I don't have anything to really discuss on it because we don't have anything updated. Alex, was Steve happy with everything he got from you?
As far as I'm aware.
Okay.
People that since this arrived at 6:02.
Email the day that you, the first day that you sent me something,
Okay,
but he had all the data that we could give him, so.
well, he was looking for a definition of critical EMS versus non-critical.
I'm not really worried about that, to be honest with you.
Well, my response to that in my email back to both of you was. He had already mentioned in his reports the difference between ALS and BLS calls. He's already recognizing, he may not recognize that's what it means, but he should, it's standard industry term.
I would hope.
And so he has data indicating which calls are ALS calls and which are BLS calls. So he already has it. It's already defined. He
Okay,
may
so-
not be picking up on it or whatever, but he talks about it multiple times through the.
So I
Draft
sent
work.
an email asking exactly what he's looking for, but I've not heard back, so.
Yeah, he's,
Can you?
But
tell me
I'm
what
not
ALS
worried.
and BLS?
Advanced life,
Advanced
advanced and basic.
life.
Yeah.
Support.
Support, sorry.
I don't, advanced life
Just
support.
the key is advanced and basic.
Okay.
So high priority, low priority. It's the difference between lights and sirens and not.
Okay.
Paramedic.
So we already define it.
Yeah, for us, advanced life support means that we're getting a paramedic. Basic
so
life
that would
support.
be a critical EMS.
Sometimes, yeah.
That's what I'm trying to wrap my head around is there a difference in the level of EMS?
Yes.
Yes,
Absolutely.
ALS and BLS.
That is
It's already
and that's
defined.
The
Okay.
dispatch,
The dispatch records that he was providing clearly indicate what's ALS and BLS.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
All right,
it's not rocket science.
if I can ever get him on the phone. Make sure he's
But
happy.
that shouldn't hold this process up
And
by any stretch of imagination.
I mean, an emergency is an emergency.
I would say, what would
What would the reason be why you want?
extrapolated consequences of that be anyway?
The only
Like,
thing, only thing they wanna know is where the ALS call would predominantly is from the heat map
All right,
perspective.
heat map,
Right, but
yeah.
it's, but we all know, well, people in business know, but it's sporadic, it's all over the place.
Mhm.
There's no way to really.
Well, the key difference that I brought up as an example is. One of the shining stars in our data that you don't even have to drill into the data to see is that. Straight across the street from where the ambulance is currently housed is High Chase, which produces a high volume of basic EMS calls. So if you only looked at EMS calls in total. You would just see there's a lot of activity right across the street from the ambulance, which would say, boy, that ambulance is perfect being right there. But the ambulance may be in a better place in town if you discount. The need to be right across the street from. Basic EMS calls and consider. If the advanced EMS calls are spread all over the town, there might be a different location, like where the ambulance had been until the mold issue, might be the better place for the ambulance to be to cover the whole town.
Right.
So that was my thing, if we're really gonna study the data, let's make sure that we understand the difference between a really obvious draw that is not high priority. So that we don't think the draw is equal to everything else.
Sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because that ultimately will affect the heat map. Or,
Well, it should at least be looked at, it should be easy enough for them as a data exercise to say, this is EMS as a whole.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like for the town, this is the ideal place for the ambulance to be as a whole. But if we discount the basic calls and look at our priority calls. It either turns out it's still the perfect place for the ambulance, or maybe the other place is the perfect place for the ambulance. To be providing service to the advance call, which he calls out in his report as being the calls where saving lives. You know, like the advance calls are where you can find the cardiac
Right.
calls,
Mhm.
Time.
right? So that's your time.
maybe,
All right, we're still on the minutes, so.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, fine.
Just-
I was gonna say that, I was
Don't
gonna
wanna
say
kill
that.
don't wanna kill the buzz, because that's a good discussion. We are, did anybody see
And we're already
anything?
done with it.
That's. Did anybody say anything in the minutes that need correcting, or can they be approved? Most of them made and seconded, so. And this is discussion. All in favor of approving the minutes for July 24th? What?
Who moved it?
I made the motion, I thought it was seconded. Oh, no, it wasn't.
No, that was to change the.
You're right.
date.
Yeah.
Change the.
So
date.
moved.
There we go. Okay,
Okay,
right.
so moved.
Thank you.
We need a
Someone
second.
second it, please?
I'll second.
All right. Most of them made and seconded to approve the minutes of July 24th, 2025. Any discussion?
Abstain, I was partially present.
Okay, or abstention. Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, we have one, opposed, none, we have one abstention. Okay,
One of the things we discussed at our last meeting was survey of 25 old farms, is that? We requested any money for that, or are we
So-
going to have to do that, or?
With the three of us scrambled to get some prices from different people to do that. And also discovered in the process that the property, the potential conflict with the property on Collin Turnpike was already resolved because it had already been sold. And transferred title to another owner who is now selling it. I don't know, it's a flipper or whatever.
Okay.
But someone bought it, and so the question of the previous owner. Indicating they thought their septic system was on the fire department property is now less critical. In the meantime, we have trouble getting prices, or the right prices.
Right, like I called Gardner Peterson, they sent me a quote for
I can imagine.
everything, soil samples, and it's like, no, that's not what I told you I wanted.
right,
And it's like, well, that's what the price is, it's like, you're not helping. So, he hasn't gotten back to me on
it's
a,
all or nothing there, so.
yeah,
I talked to another surveyor who said. I can't possibly schedule anything now, I'm scheduling out a month ahead, I'm buried, I said, can you just give us a price, so we have something to talk about, and we can schedule it later? Oh, sure, I'll get you a price, and I've asked 3 times for it, he says, oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm so busy.
No,
He's working until dark, Eric.
it's not Russell.
No, I haven't talked to Russell.
and then a lot of them say that they'll give us a better price come fall, just because,
Well, the foliage makes.
The
a
foliage.
difference,
especially
Right.
over there, it was mowed down with a machine, now it's a lot of low brush.
Mhm.
And it's thick brush, so they said they'd rather hold off and give us a price in a month or so.
yes. You still have a mulcher? That says, nice, still have a
Yeah.
mulcher?
Yeah.
Those are neat machines, that would take care of the brush pretty good.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's still out there, but may not be necessary.
right, it's not as permanent.
Oh, yeah, okay.
All right. Public participation, I don't see anybody online or. Matt, do you have anything you want to say?
No, thank you all for volunteering to be members of the committee.
Yep.
Look forward to a good conversation. Thanks a lot.
Mhm. What do we got? What do we need to talk about?
You got the paper in front of you.
I do, well, we have no new business
No real new business.
specifically.
Zone maps review, we haven't really. I'm hoping Steve's gonna update us a little bit on that.
Yeah, so he sent, what you sent to us was the data report back, which has a bunch of clarifications on the response time, which makes way more sense now. Dispatch time split out from turnout time, split out from travel time. That makes a lot more sense now. So whoever helped Tyler, I know you were involved, I heard you were involved in helping get that clarified, that was pretty valuable to the discussion.
You know, he should have just slid his cursor to the right and saw another column, Excel, and would have put it on.
Still, thank you for helping. If you helped slide his cursor over, thank you. So, was there anything else materially changed in the data report? I skimmed it, I didn't find anything other than a bunch of clarification on the dispatch.
I didn't see anything, but.
But I think for the record, the initial. I won't call it dispatch time indicated in the report was 8 to 10 minutes. It's actually been 30, which is. Excellent.
Yeah, there's, depending on the type of call, it's anywhere from like 1.6 to 2.4, 2.8 at the most.
The outliers of the 2.8 are the people that typically you're on the phone a lot longer, they're trying to extrapolate what's going on.
Yeah.
And the persistence, et cetera, or people on the highway that don't know where they are, and things like that.
Yeah.
But still, 2 minutes on the high side is pretty damn good.
Yeah, I can imagine someone in panic mode.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's.
Yep, a lot of factors in that, so to be at 2 minutes on the high side is,
That's correct.
pretty proud of people that work there.
Well, I think the columns now, the way it's broken out with dispatch time, then a turnout time, then travel time, all being separate numbers. That really helps us also when we're looking at. What are we trying to understand about what happens in Wellington? And how do we change it, or can we change it? Cause at least now we can see what all the different pieces are as opposed to that big
Yeah, what else,
clump of time that had 3 different functions in it that were done by different 2 different agencies.
what aspects of it do need refinement, if any?
And so we didn't get a new GIS report, right, with new maps or anything.
Yeah,
Was there any other? Besides Tyler helping clarify the response time and like I sent an email, has there been other communication? No?
no,
Okay.
I called him yesterday.
We had some queries out to Tammy and Jeff, I believe, too, on what disposition is of the state, the additional property at Station 13, correct?
I have an update on that.
Oh, great. What is it?
So the state is going to give it to the town. There is a price to it. We don't know what that price is. We're supposed to meet next week.
The dollar would be good.
I think that's what it is, but they can't. Yeah, but they can't just say, here you go.
Yeah.
So there is something that's got to, and there's gotta be a shown sale or something like that. So we're supposed to.
Like a $1 sale?
That's the hope. We're supposed to meet with them next week. DOT is finalizing the last part of it.
Well, they wanted $5,000 for the radio tower spot on Jared Sparks Road, which is a piece of land the size of this room.
Right.
Yeah, that was stupid.
And so who knows what their first number is gonna be on that?
We have no idea. We have no idea. So they have not said anything about that.
Is Jeff or Tammy attending?
Jeff is, Jeff's office is the one coordinating everything.
But that's very encouraging, because that is considered the
I mean, was
site
you
by our
guys,
consultant for a
Yeah.
potential.
cause I did that original layout.
That's-
For that property, and what I felt was an appropriate allocation. And Mr. D'Amato didn't quite. It didn't gel in his head as to what made sense. I don't wanna impinge on their right of way, I wanna keep everything that they have to maintain on their right of way, but still. You know, the right of way is based on the old Route 32.
Yeah.
Which few people remember,
And is not relevant to Route 32 right now.
and never will be.
Right.
So that is moving forward, they're very positive, thinking that that'll be done in the next week. or
That's
so.
the entirely, right?
Huh?
Yeah. It's just fine, they let us put the stone wall and flagpoles on.
But the people in the legislative office for DOT, we have no idea what you're talking about, we're just gonna use that deal.
Yeah.
You drive on the flagpole?
They have,
They drive by.
That's what they said.
they have a memo on the wall that says, this is what you're supposed to say in all situations. Oh, we need that, we use it, it's
We
very
use it all the
valuable.
time.
Should take it like I'm in. You can imagine.
You've been there, take it from the
You've been there
state.
for 25 years. So my comment to Jeff was, well, then tell them to come vote the damn thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
So Ralph, with that additional land, does that improve our footprint there in terms of anything we might do?
Oh, it certainly does, and whether we utilize the site or not, if the town were to convey that to a business, it's gonna enhance it for a business as well.
Right, it's only good.
It's good in every way.
Yeah.
It is, and from EDC's perspective, it would be great.
I think one of the biggest values is assuming we're reusing it for emergency services, which seems like a likely situation, whether it's a big station, a small station, whatever, if it is a new construction, it can move forward away from the hill.
Exactly.
That's probably one of the most valuable parts of that.
And maybe a little bit
Get
higher.
a little bit away from the hill.
We're gonna get a couple of feet above the ground level at the bottom of the hill, I think we'd be better off.
Okay. Other than that,
Yeah, I don't know, well, I don't know what I think we need to prepare for, as we talked about it before, public outreach. One of the things that we had discussed was some sort of educational event to educate the town as to what emergency services are covered. And still thinking of a 50-year plan. What will that look like in the future? What emerging issues are there for, not only equipment, training, personnel? I think one of the things that I keep seeing and in various publications. That volunteerism is diminishing, and it is unlikely that Wellington would be able to maintain. I don't say my things, I don't wanna disparage anything that's going on, but I guess we should be prepared that. Full-time staff will probably be needed to provide the level of trained professional services in the future. Just something we need to think about.
Can I make a comment real quick?
Yeah.
So when you're talking about a volunteer, I think I shared with Tyler, there was a report done in May by the comptroller office regarding volunteer fire departments. 50% is what, in 10 years, we've lost 50% of the volunteers to firefighting in 10 years.
statewide,
Statewide.
doesn't surprise me.
It's,
Does that include EMS also?
yep. Well, no, this was strictly volunteer
Just
fire,
fire.
but EMS, it's unheard of to have volunteer EMS. I think there's only two. Two in the county left?
That's the.
Two volunteering and those.
Yeah.
So that is. what we
Yeah, I
have.
think, and this is definitely something we should, that the consultant, we expected the consultant to comment on.
Correct.
Is what do they understand of the industry in the future?
Right.
And that could be. What our staffing resources are, that could be where, if there are trends in the industry, like, you know, EMS is heading towards this type of service or whatever. And even regional, you know, there's a lot of talk like in Hartford. Like in CROG and CCM and all those statewide
Yes.
governmental type organizations about regionalization. In many different areas, not just emergency services, but many different areas, that's gonna be the only way to have viable services.
Right.
And have resources available. Across, especially across the more rural areas.
And what that means to me is that the state is always, will be far more willing to fund things that are regional. If the towns are working together, you're far more likely to get funding
Yeah, a lot of
than
grants.
you are if you're looking for all your, then they'll say, well, no.
A lot of grants already prioritize
Correct.
regionalization.
But certainly from a facilities point of view, we have to consider, basically living quarters, some sort of full-time living quarters and not just bunks and stuff, but really a place where full-time staff could live and thrive and go there, so that's a reality. And then, how do we, I'm a big believer in talking about everything you know at the time, even if it's gonna change. I think you're better off getting the word out, being as fully, full disclosure as possible. So I think we all agree that once this report is finally done, that is when our real work will begin to say, what do we want to decide on and land on, and then and really start getting into it, and then using some of the money that's already been allocated to us, using that as conservatively and appropriately as possible to get as much information as we can, whether it's, 30% design plans and, estimate cost that is 80% accurate, whatever those, I'm just throwing numbers out there, but something like that, in order to have talking points to prepare the townspeople for what's gonna come, because I don't believe that we can continue the phenomenal, I think they're great numbers. When you're looking at the report, just what a great job emergency services is doing today. If we don't do something about facilities, I'm not sure that can really continue. We can only do so much for so long in temporary status. You'd start to just burn out after a while. And we don't want that to happen, so. I don't know, the sooner we can get something together, and everybody agrees with that, and the more we can talk about it, the better.
So we have to push to finish this
Well,
study effort.
We gotta push the finish.
Jumped in. I thought we were gonna get the report for this meeting. From the consultant, the final report.
Well, I think if I remember right, what we were supposed to have for this meeting was we were supposed to have picked each of us was supposed to have picked like 3 or 4 favorite scenarios. So that we could ask the consultant to focus in and do the deep dive on the data. They would expand the gears on those like 3 most feasible or most liked by the committee solutions. There were some wrinkles in the 4 weeks in between because we corrected data problems. And it sent questions that we sent answers to. We don't know the results of that yet because we have the data report, but we don't have feedback from Fitch yet on the rest of the questions, and he hasn't indicated whether he's splitting up EMS into high and low priority. So we really need to get that next feedback from Fitch, and we need to tell him what we think are the areas to focus on, so he can do the deep dive in the data. Right, is that?
No, it's a fair appraisal.
So what's the timeline for him to get back to us now?
When he gets back to us, I don't.
That doesn't sound good.
No, right, that sounds a little squishy, doesn't it? Yeah.
That sounds very open-ended.
Andy, why don't you and I try and do
All right,
a three-way call with
let's
Steve?
talk tomorrow, yeah, you and I will talk tomorrow and see if we can go over the contract again, I looked at it a month and weeks ago, and I don't remember what it said.
Are people ready tonight to talk about the favorite ideas, or do we need to see the updated data to figure that out?
I was expecting to see a draft final report. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I hate to
Not
speculate
the
without
draft,
facts.
finalized data only, right?
Yeah, draft report, he said in
Yeah.
a Zoom call, we usually have a draft, his full expectation at the last meeting that he was on. A draft final report will be in our hands for our next meeting.
Right. I think this is getting some-
That meeting was
What are
supposed
we
to be 2
really
weeks ago.
lacking?
Yeah,
right.
The preliminary one.
Oh, we were back.
Yeah.
Everything but that data report that he submitted,
All of the
everything,
analysis.
everything. Fire station location, volunteerism, apparatus reports, all that stuff,
I thought
everything.
he made a recommendation on the location and the favorable response times at station 13.
No, he said, and we've already clarified with you, that he said you could pick this one location and meet the 10 minutes. That's what he said.
And now it's better than that, from what I understand.
I don't know. We don't, what do we know? What do you know?
The response times decreased based on the additional data that he sort of released.
Oh, I don't know that.
Unless I'm misunderstanding it. That could be, but.
So the rest of the things that I picked out with it, I was expecting, and he confirmed that was gonna be in the final draft for us was, you have the ever-present question, 1 department, 2 departments. Apparatus, the apparatus reviews. Do we have enough fire trucks? Do you have too many fire trucks? What's your apparatus replacement plan from a capital perspective? Your personnel, report, do you have enough volunteers? Do you need more paid staff? Do you not have enough paid staff? Well, all the other things are in there that he was supposed to produce.
Yeah, well, I want to ask that question. Thank you, Tyler. Did he ever look at the equipment lists for both departments?
He got it.
And I don't know what he's looked at.
And tell us what we need and don't need, so to
That's
speak.
what, that's what I wanna see.
That's what we're waiting.
That should be forthcoming in
He
the final report.
He didn't do that at all? Like, there's no.
Didn't report back to us that he did.
There has been a draft
He
version.
just hasn't given us that information
Yeah.
yet.
So that's the meat and potato stuff that I'm waiting for.
Right.
And this report was just raw data, really, it was a lot of.
These are where it
information.
calls, how long it takes you to get there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
all
right,
that
right.
stuff. That's all that is.
And
There's
it's
nothing more
just
to it.
for our review to make sure that he was tracking it, that's the way I.
And then the station, and then there's some station location
Yes.
information in there that you can deduce some information from, but.
Oh, good.
You still have to decide,
So-
you want a 10-minute response, a 9-minute, 8-minute, 12-minute.
111 pages of data,
Right. Right,
but nothing to go by.
not a lot of it.
Well, right, it's the analysis of that data that
That's
needs
right,
to.
and that's what we're
right.
waiting.
A summary page would be good.
So I think,
And other data too, that's not the full data set that he has on there, like he got all their information.
Right,
so everyone who's spoken so far is hungry for
yes.
more work from them,
Mhm.
right? And I believe we owe them prioritizing like 3 different options. I think that was his request. So if you guys can get in a phone call with him as soon as possible, can you verify
I don't.
what he needs from us?
I don't remember
You
that.
know about paying attention, I know.
I thought he
I've been
asked for us
where
to
the
pick.
firehouse is gonna
I
be.
don't
When we
remember
were-
that either.
When we were talking about the fact that he hadn't used all the other years of data, he said, well, absolutely, we picked that as the example year. And we will use the other years,
Right.
once you narrow it down to like 3 favorite options, because it's so much data to crunch, don't wanna crunch all that data on like 11 different options.
Well, then why?
So let's
he
go
give
back
us-
to the videotape.
No, wait, then where's his 3 options?
He asked us to prioritize the 3 options, the problem is we don't
Well,
know
I
enough
thought
about this.
I
to
thought
pick
that's
the
why
3
we hired
options.
him to give us
That's
options, not
what
us.
I thought.
Because we could have done that already.
We could have done.
Yeah, we could have done that already.
I thought we were trying to avoid that.
Now we're gonna do that.
All I'm saying is,
That's
if
what
these
he
guys
said.
can get on the phone and verify what he's actually looking for, then maybe we can or can't provide that.
Okay. Or, yeah,
Mike, I think for me personally, the question is, why would we provide that? You hired him to
Right.
provide that information. I don't
We
care,
introduced
I don't care what
bias.
everyone's opinions are. I wanna know what his opinion is as a professional consultant, looking
Yeah.
at the town as a whole. That's what.
That's okay too, I just was going by what he asked for.
Yeah,
So
okay.
if we don't wanna handle it that way, we don't have,
yeah.
we can tell him that's his job.
I feel like that's like a really strong opportunity, like to introduce all of our bias
It
there, like, oh,
disqualifies.
we're,
It
like,
disqualifies the study.
we're putting in, oh, well, do a deep dive on Millington Hill,
Right.
you know, only, like, for example.
Yeah.
Just like,
Right.
that's the whole point of us hiring him, for us to not be prioritizing options that we like, right?
Not introducing the bias.
Right,
Yeah.
that's the way I saw it too.
Alright, so you guys really need
Yeah,
to
well,
talk to
we
him,
will.
and then can you email? If you feel it's appropriate, could you email the results of that right away so
Absolutely.
that we can percolate whatever we need to,
Okay.
if we need to do anything?
Do you have time tomorrow to discuss this?
Yeah, but we'll pick a time, when can I corner him? That's.
Well, that's right, I mean, we could discuss it right now, right?
Yeah, Monday's a holiday, so you wanna try to corner him tomorrow.
Tomorrow's a dead day.
We'll probably try to-
It's tomorrow or Tuesday.
So, yeah, I think Ralph just wrote down what is gonna get us past square one here, we're still
It's kind of where we're
spinning
at.
our wheels,
Still.
so. That we need some hard data, you mentioned, equipment evaluations, of all that data now needs to be analyzed by him. And that's what we're looking for, like you were saying, do we have the right equipment here? Is it, where should it be, what is the right equipment, where should it be? I would say 3 courses of action, I mean, normally 3 it's a good number, here are your 3 top choices. Of what you should do.
I think what you're gonna hear from him based on what he said in that meeting is, well, it's a local political decision. To decide what the taxpayers are willing to pay for, or what time of services they're
Yeah.
willing to accept. He said that multiple times.
Yes, he did.
I'm not arguing that's the right answer.
Yeah, no,
I'm just
you're
saying
right.
that's likely what he's gonna say. So you need to be prepared to answer that and say, that's why we hired you.
Well, would it be fair to say we want the times to remain as they are, because they look.
Or
really
improve.
good? Yeah, better, right, no worse than what they are.
Equal to or better than.
That's what I'm trying to say, equal to or.
And part of
That's a
what,
good answer.
part of the whole premise of this is if we're gonna ask the people for money, where do we best use the money? Is it small projects in 3 places, bigger projects in 2 places, a lot of money in 1 place?
Mhm.
Right, and that's really, he's gotta come up with. If you do this, it's gonna be the same, if you spend this and this here and here, you're gonna be better or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if it's spending, I'm not sure that I want him to decide what should be.
That was in the, it
Well, I
it was
guess
in
right,
the
it was
scope that
in
he
the
was supposed to
scope.
provide an idea
Of
of where we best use taxpayer dollars.
yes,
And he
Best
was,
use
and
of
in order to do
taxpayer
that, he was supposed to provide order of magnitude
I
pricing.
guess so, order, all right. I guess
If it's
that's
gonna be
fair.
one brand new station on Route 32 at Station 13's location. It needs to be about this big because it's gonna have this much apparatus in it, because you can get
Well,
rid of
yes.
this truck.
Yes,
And now you need a station this big and you
Right,
need
right,
sleeping
right,
quarters
that's-
and it's gonna be $15 million, whatever.
I know, okay, in that sense, yes, that makes sense.
And that's in that I think was clearly in the RFP.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so.
Can we also ask him to weigh in on what you were just talking about with volunteerism and how
That's,
all of
I think
this?
that's in the RFP. It's in the RFP that you would provide, professional opinion on the future, future trends, staffing.
Is it possible whatever infrastructure we create can enhance that or decrease that? And does he know what that is?
Right.
Because I sure as hell don't. But I'm just dying to know, is that in his charge?
I believe it is.
I think so.
Volunteerism, I mean, that's gonna be an issue. I think we all know that, recognize that.
And I think it's important to the community. I think the community likes it. These guys do a
It would
great
be
job.
great, though, that it's coming from
They like
Steve
the dollar.
rather than from the 2 departments here. That's part of his report, that this is
Should be.
a real problem, not just for Wellington, but across everywhere.
But you guys kind of conveyed that then when you were traipsing around Wellington, right?
I tried.
Okay, you may need to revisit that.
And Connecticut's not the only example, Pennsylvania, for whatever reason, has always been a very, Pennsylvania has been well known for volunteer fire service, like every nook and cranny of Pennsylvania has a little volunteer fire department in it. And to the point where my father's hometown, the volunteer fire department is funded by the bar in the same building, literally. That's not, it's a real thing.
Well, we
And-
almost had something like that years ago, didn't we?
And so, and even in Pennsylvania, even with a bar in the firehouse, they're closing fire stations. Volunteer fire departments are just disappearing. And it's a whole change in society and everything else.
Well, it's the evolution of everything, the evolution of fire departments. The evolution of society, the requirement today that you can't really maintain a household without 2 incomes. Whereas you used to be able to do it with 1.
40 hours.
Hmm?
40-hour income.
Yeah, 1 40-hour income was enough.
Yeah, and you had enough people in town, whether they were on farms or retirees or military veterans. And all the other things, like when I joined the department in the 80s, there were still quite a few people who worked in town, the store. There might have been 2 people working at the store who could respond to the siren ringing on the roof
Yeah,
and come to a call.
Yeah, that was up.
That
the door.
is.
Yep.
A lot of that's gone now too.
Or a farmer would jump off his tractor.
Yeah.
And respond. That's gone.
With a cigar hanging out his mouth.
I think of one.
I'll never get that laugh down.
I didn't get that one.
You just have to send a very stern, pointed email this evening.
Oh, I can get,
Just that the committee is in full agreement that we're expecting some results, we're expecting them quickly.
yes,
because we don't want to start all over again with another one.
no, we sure don't.
Oh,
This is
I didn't
our,
like any of the other options.
this is our year anniversary.
Well, and we're pretty far into this. If we can pull it together, we're pretty
Yeah.
far into this.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right, we'll light a fire.
Yeah, so where is that, I mean, he said, what, 4 months? From when he got all the data?
Yeah.
So he can sell that.
We can still kind of just say.
I still
well,
haven't not all the
Oh,
data.
so- right,
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but this time we can say that the problem with the data was him misreading it.
Right,
So.
yeah, like Tyler said, all they had to do was move the cursor, so.
yeah.
What do we think could be a timeline for this?
Yesterday.
To approach,
If he's just-
say, our CIP committee and board of selectmen.
Well, I mean, that's really, I think that is the time, I think that's the time pressure is we're coming into budget season.
Right, yeah.
The budget season, CIP season starts early, it's gonna start early this year, it sounds like, maybe October.
It starts the day the budget's approved for the year.
And then we go into the regular budget season in November and December. On top of the fact that it's an election year, so you can have some changes in boards, people are gonna be appointed, unappointed, terms expire, all this other stuff happens.
Yeah, this board might shift.
So we need. We need to be rolling because this has to feed that budget discussion.
Right, I agree.
And we have competition, budget wise.
I don't think that's the right way to look at it. I don't think it's right to think of it as a competitive thing.
You want a prettier phrase? There are many demands for the public resources. It's the same thing.
No, I don't think it really is. Because-
Andy, it's a reality.
No, but if you look at it as a competition, it means there's a winner and a loser. And basically, we need a new firehouse and we need a new school. We need an emergency building facility, we need a building, and we need a school. There is no loser if we get those things.
No, but Andy, it's important that our elected leaders understand what they have to balance.
Absolutely.
And right now, they don't know what we're doing. They don't know.
Well, you're right, we don't know what we're doing right now, but I know there's next week, or is it this week, the
Next week.
Board of Ed's gonna meet and then about the school building committee, so that's gonna form. And then there's, yes, but we're not really. I don't think it's good to think about it as a competition,
No, but I think,
because it implies as a loser.
I think you do need to have that balance, and with something on this side and nothing over here, they can't really balance.
No, I know that we need to get something out there as quickly as possible.
And that helps inform the other group and what their expectations
You're
are.
absolutely right. I'm not discounting the fact that we need to act.
Yeah.
I just don't like thinking of it as a
Think of
competition.
it this way, Andy, it's less a competition than we have finite resources.
Well, absolutely. That's right. No, that's right.
We have to allocate those as
And we have to balance.
best we can.
Exactly
You
right.
know,
That's
so. When you're kicking our consultant tomorrow or Ralph,
Yes.
tell them like we have a, late September timeline on this where we need to know.
Right,
where
we need some hard information where we can start moving. Absolutely right.
And then
We thought it was gonna be ready last week or
I
2
did,
weeks ago.
I did too, and then we need time to discuss that.
Mhm. So,
Well, I'm just taking notes here for our conversation.
cause we have to find a way to do both. Rob,
Oh,
new
yes,
school,
there's no doubt.
some sort of education facility, some kind of emergency services facility. They both have to be done in the next 5 years.
And it could be a schedule where they impact each other, they could
It
be
could
over.
be a schedule that benefits them both too.
It could be over a period of time, where one goes and one doesn't go, or vice versa, so, yeah, good point.
And
How many fire trucks can we fit in center school?
I don't know,
What was that?
raise the
How
roof,
many fire trucks can we fit in center school?
right?
The doors can we put in there?
Then,
Not many.
Ceilings are too low.
I would say it's not high enough.
yeah,
Maybe the upper section, the
Yes,
ceiling might be high enough, I don't know.
in the upper section.
Jim away.
If there's a basement under it. I don't know about that.
I don't think,
I don't know.
is there a full basement or just a tunnel down the corridor?
No, there's full basements,
Under the gym there is.
there's
No, I'm
classrooms.
thinking about the original client going to the north.
no idea.
There's just
Crawl space,
utility.
I think it's crawl space or utility tunnel or something,
Yeah.
anyway.
Is there-
Regardless, that wasn't a serious thing, I'm sorry, I'm sorry I threw it out there.
Yeah,
Get both of
we got tangents that we don't need.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay. Other than that,
what else do we need to talk about?
Money.
money.
Have we paid our consultant
No, he hasn't built us either.
No, he hasn't built it.
at all?
Well, that's the first, the initial payment.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we paid him.
But he hasn't really,
usual.
I mean, I was expecting a bill after this delivery, but it wasn't much of a delivery and.
He must be plenty busy and he just,
Yeah.
We're a low priority.
otherwise he would wanna ram this through and bill for it.
Yeah, you would think
Yes,
so.
I think
Yeah.
he's probably got a bigger project. Or two.
30. I mean, it's not him, just him, right? His
No,
whole
it's not,
office,
no,
right? So,
he-
No, but his staff is all over the country.
yeah.
So they're all kind of remotely connected, I guess.
Just a sort of an off, the question I was wondering about, is is station 13 experiencing any further deterioration because it's just sitting there? Is there, I mean,
And the water,
I mean, it's not filling up with water, windows aren't broken or anything, or there's no
No,
vandalism or anything like that
Sounds
going
not
on?
that one, no, but the smell in there is god awful.
Really?
Yeah, on a hot day, if you walk up the building, you'll have them.
Yeah.
You know,
But it is, we did the drainage work and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
There was still
standing water.
no standing water.
Does anybody ever go down there and just hang around or for any
We
reason at
don't
all?
allow any members in that
I
building.
just wondering, could the doors, since it's cooler and drier, is there anything, could doors be opened or something?
That's the exact thing, why don't we open the doors?
We did that before and then we were getting, the staff's not gonna sit in a vehicle outside all day. But we can open the door, the problem is things come in and out of the building.
Mm.
You start getting critters in there
Yeah,
and.
no, for sure, yeah, I know, I wasn't, just wondering about
So, and
letting it dry out a little bit sometime.
and we do have it open sometimes, not very often.
Not very often. Right.
They did a training night down there last week, they were up top working on the training grounds,
Oh,
so
okay.
it was open up. while they
Oh,
were
good,
there.
well, that's fair, good, I'm glad you're doing that at least.
But we don't let the staff go into the building either, so.
Right. Alright,
Brendan, do you think that the basic frame of that building could be recycled into another building? From what you've
Oh,
seen
it's
so far?
another building, like dismantled and reused?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking? Sure.
The steel's all bottom. Well, where those spots, where's the bottom of that?
Oh, some parts of it were,
The other right side there.
we went back and did like a deep, the outside, I mean. not the
It's
expert, right?
pretty
But the outside, like this, the panel, no,
No,
what's the point, but the
the skin,
structural
the skin's
steel,
gone.
the structural steel, only a few pieces of that was actually really
What's it called?
deteriorated.
The channel.
The sill,
The
the
sill.
sill channel
The
is.
sill
is
plates were,
toast.
the sill was bad, but only a few parts, and not even all of it, but like the actual structure. It seemed like it was pretty good.
I could make quite a barn in the house.
I know. Yeah.
That's it. We could get all our machines undercover.
We have steel. Yeah, no, it seemed, I mean, I guess you could dismantle it and use it again somewhere. Certainly we have done a
Stand
similar
last night.
concept,
Say,
yeah.
well, that's it.
I mean, it's not like it's rusty, and it's not like the mold is on this, is in the steel, it's just
Yeah,
not
steel
the
can be
very clean.
Yeah,
Cleaned and maybe repainted, but it's still like a factory finish on it, like it's. Most of it looked pretty good last time we were like just doing a walk around there.
I'm thinking that. A parcel demo. Is better than trying to remediate that building. Just save the frame and plus the rest. Not that, I don't know if that would benefit us in any way, as a committee or a building. It really depends on what our building needs turn out to be.
right,
Yeah,
And still we wanna. Move it away.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, let's, it's a ledge, right, but you can
Oh, yeah, you can do a retaining wall.
remove some of the hill,
No, you wouldn't touch the bottom of that.
no,
well, you could build more significant drainage structures.
right,
Yeah,
like, I'm not saying
maintain.
like 40 feet, but you
Yeah.
can do some excavation and hammering to allow some space for drainage.
Well, we've got the plumbing underground to take the water away, we just have to connect to it. All right, that's a long conversation.
Yeah.
that's right.
We don't know what we need for a building area.
No.
If anything, so.
All right,
Yeah, I think this holds up a lot of our other things. We need to be very quickly prepared though to pivot once we get this information.
yes, we do.
And review it, understand it, and come up with recommendations to the townspeople.
Mhm.
Which is gonna mean that we're probably gonna have to start bringing on that beginning design, which someone was talking about 30% drawing. We're gonna have to do something, even if it's just a cost per square foot analysis.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that we can start saying this is what the project looks like and get that conversation going. Cause that feeds into Pete's point about budget season.
Mhm.
Did he say that he was gonna release the report, like, can you guys just email it to us when you get it? Like, how is it gonna be distributed? Like, we don't have to wait for a meeting to get the report, we should
I wouldn't think.
get the
no,
report
no.
and then look at it before, right? Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's gonna do a dog and pony show, but we need to have reviewed it and ask questions about it, and
Right.
make sure it represents what we're looking for.
Mhm.
Before he does a presentation to the town.
That can't be the first time we're seeing, like,
Right,
even
Right.
if he's here to talk about it the day that, like, the next meeting, like, it's still, we need to be,
We need to
Looking
see
at it
it
first,
before
right?
that.
Yeah, right.
yeah, it's no good to have him travel here when we're not ready to ask
oh, it'll
questions.
be for the next meeting, but like, that's not how. I need to be for the next
Is,
meeting.
is he lacking anything to go from that preliminary report to a final report to us?
Doesn't seem so.
If I could get the answer out of him to that question, we'd be much better off.
But I'm fearful they'll come back, a week from now.
You
and
better
say,
not
"Why
come
you didn't
back with-"
Tell me this, this and this.
That's the delay tactic.
Mhm.
It's a common delay tactic for consultants.
Yeah, I think he already used it,
So I used to be one.
Yeah, well, he's running out.
I think he already has.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, we don't have any correspondence, we don't have any present to speak. I don't mind if we keep talking, but we're just having a conversation at this point. Next scheduled meeting, September 11th, 2025, is there a conflict for anybody?
I'll be out of state. Be out of the country.
Where are you going?
Yeah, the president.
I hope they let you back in.
Yeah, I hope so too.
You got your passport?
Yeah, my daughter and her family went to Toronto, so they let them back in.
Okay.
So September 11th, not a problem,
You need a motion.
or what?
Adjournment.
Yeah. Do I hear one?
I just made one.
All right,
Second.
motion to adjourn the second, and any discussion, all in favor? Meeting adjourned at 7. What's that say? 7:18.